Nation.
At first, it felt like another flicker, another speculative headline in the long line of New York Knicks offseason dreams. But now the whispers are starting to grow, louder and louder every day. Now the talk in the league is starting to take a sharper shape. The Knicks are actually seriously considering Jason Kidd as their next head coach. Not just for what he can do with the roster today, but apparently for what he might be able to help attract tomorrow. And that's what I want to talk about. I'm talking specifically the Greek Freak. I'm talking Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know. Yes, Giannis, two-time MVP, NBA champion, Greek Freak. But he's also the kind of player whose presence alone tilts championship odds for us and rewrites organizational DNA. And if you're wondering why the Knicks might believe Jason Kidd is the man to help lure him here, then you have to go back. Not just to Giannis's formative years in Milwaukee, but to the connective tissue of loyalty, of mentorship, and of trust that Jason Kidd has sown across multiple stops as both a Hall of Fame point guard and as a high-stakes head coach. This isn't just about fit. It's about Leon's vision. Leon Rose and the New York Knicks have already constructed a top-tier foundation. Jalen Brunson is now a superstar. The Villanova core has chemistry. Tom Thibodeau gave us culture. But the next evolution, the championship leap, requires a bold pivot. It requires a coach with a deep superstar cachet and a strategic chops to unlock a finals level ceiling. Kidd, for all of his career detours and debates, he actually fits that mold. And his link to Giannis may be the key to making the impossible very possible. So that's why I wanted to do this video. I wanted to create this video and explore if Jason Kidd is going to be the ideal coach for us. How is his relationship with Jalen Brunson and Giannis Antetokounmpo uniquely positioned for him to unlock the roster's full potential, and how we as the Knicks could flip Karl-Anthony Towns and possibly other assets to build around Brunson, Giannis, and what would be this new Garden legacy. So that's what I want to look at today. Real quick, like and subscribe this video. Let's start with the Brunson bond. Kidd was the coach that let him be great. We're going to start with what we know. Jason Kidd helped unlock Jalen Brunson's potential. Got to go back to Dallas. 21-22. Kidd inherited the Dallas Mavericks team with Luka Doncic as the undisputed alpha and Brunson as a steady but underutilized backup point guard. Under Rick Carlisle, Brunson was respected, but he was constrained, often pulled during critical moments, never quite viewed as a co-star. Jason Kidd changed that immediately. What he saw in Brunson, few others did. A relentless competitor who had surgical footwork, emotional steadiness, also a small guy who had a knack for big game moments. Kidd not only expanded Brunson's role, he empowered it. He trusted Brunson to run the offense when Luka sat. He played him extended minutes, in the clutch. And when Luka went down in the 2022 playoffs, it was Brunson who rose, dropping 41 points on Utah and sending Dallas deeper into the postseason than many expected. That's when we as Knicks fans begin to pay attention over to Dallas for that possibility. That leap didn't happen in a vacuum. Kidd's approach, a balance of firm accountability and freedom to improvise, helped Brunson step into that stardom. And while Brunson ultimately left Dallas for the bigger role in New York and a fatter paycheck, he never forgotten who gave him that first real look. So reuniting with Kidd in New York would be more than sentimental. It would be strategic. Brunson is now the Knicks' engine. Any coaching hire must be someone who complements, not controls his style. Jason Kidd is a Hall of Fame point guard himself, and he speaks Brunson's language. He understands nuance of tempo, spacing, reading mismatches, and winning ugly. The respect is already built in. And if nothing else, he can help Brunson get even better. If Brunson is the face of this team moving forward, Kidd's presence will ensure that he stays both empowered and optimized. That would be a great, in retrospect, that would be a great move. But also, let's look at the Giannis factor. There's the roots, there's the loyalty, and there's also this window of opportunity. If we pivot to the rumor that's starting to feel a little less crazy with each passing week, the New York Knicks' real end game might be trading for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And Jason Kidd is a chess piece to make it happen. Let's be clear. Giannis loves J. Kidd. Loves him. He was crushed when they let Jason Kidd go. Kidd was Giannis's head coach in Milwaukee from 2014 to 2018. And during those formative years, it was Kidd, not Mike Budenholzer, who gave Giannis the green light to become something more than just a freak athlete. Kidd made him the team's de facto point guard in 2016, letting him develop as a playmaker and a decision maker. He challenged Giannis to be more than just a finisher or a cutter. He pushed him into positions of discomfort. Many of us don't remember that. He pushed him into positions of discomfort to accelerate his growth. When the Bucks fired Kidd in 2018, Giannis was livid. Go back, look at the paper cut-ups, the articles. Multiple reports. He offered to go to ownership to try and keep Kidd in the building. The connection was that genuine and deep. And to this day, Giannis speaks of Kidd with reverence. They were more than just coach and player. They were collaborators. And that may be what it is that we're looking for right now. So why does this matter now? Because Giannis is watching the landscape change. He's seen these teams come up. Milwaukee has aged quickly. Damian Lillard's arrival gave the Bucks short-term fireworks, but long-term complications. The early exit in 2014 playoffs reopened old wounds. Ownership changes have created instability. And Giannis, now approaching 30, has openly talked about his desire to win above everything else. If Milwaukee falters again, and if the Knicks, with cap maneuvering and assets, puts the right offer on the table, Giannis could ask out. Giannis could ask out. And if he does, New York with Jalen Brunson and Jason Kidd becomes one of the few destinations that checks every box. Talent, trust, legacy. Talent, trust, legacy. Then we got to consider Karl-Anthony Towns' possibility in that trade. The hard choice of being greater to go from greater to good. Bringing Giannis to New York won't be cheap. And that means being prepared to part ways with one of the crown jewels of our 2024 season. Actually, off-season last year, Karl-Anthony Towns. When Towns was brought in, he was brought in to space the floor, give Brunson a second scoring star. But questions still linger. Is he built for deep playoff battles? Can he coexist defensively with Mitchell Robinson? Can he be the second option on a championship team? If the answer to any of those questions is maybe, then you flip him. You flip him for the surest bet in basketball. You flip him for Giannis. A package of Karl-Anthony Towns, obviously multiple first-round picks. The unpopular move, but maybe a young player like Miles McBride. Who else will throw in there? Our point guard, I forget his name right now. We will help them retool the Bucks, especially if Giannis signals that he wants out. And Kidd, again, is the glue here. Not only does he help bring Giannis in the door, He helps reimagine the Knicks' identity around him. That may be another reason why the Bucks won't do it. No more questions about Towns' defense. No more debates about who the alpha is. A core of Brunson, Giannis, maybe McCall Bridges, OG, Josh Hart, I don't know how many of those we could keep, coached by a kid, instantly becomes the most versatile two-way lineup in the East. Trading Towns is a gamble, but it's one that the Knicks must be willing to take if the prize is Antetokounmpo. This is why I love Leon, man. Leon has never been afraid. He said it from the beginning. What Kid brings, though, as a coach, is beyond the names. Let's strip away the star power for a moment. Let's just talk basketball. Jason Kidd, despite his uneven start in Brooklyn, has definitely matured into a quietly excellent tactician. In Dallas, he led the Mavericks to the Western Conference Finals in 2022 with a roster that on paper had no business getting that far. His scheme involved elite trapping of the defense, intelligent rotations, empowering role players like Dorian Finney-Smith, I think his name is, and Brunson to outplay their reputations. Kidd's offensive systems rely on simplicity and spacing, letting players make reads rather than overcomplicating actions. He emphasizes trust, movement, flexible hierarchy, and in the playoffs where games slow down and matchup exploitation matters more than flow, Kidd has shown an ability to adjust series to series. That's something that a lot of fans will agree Tom Thibodeau struggled with. Tibbs was a floor raiser. He brought order, he brought culture to us. But I think Kidd can be a ceiling raiser. The Knicks are no longer trying to get back to relevance. We're here. Now, we want to win it all. That's going to require a different lens. Jason Kidd has been there as a player and now as a coach. He knows how to guide stars through ego, through fatigue, through adversity. And more than anything, I think he knows how to convince elite players to do more. We saw that when he came to New York as a player. To trust more, to stretch their games. He was the one that got Melo right. And with this Knicks roster loaded with defenders, wing stoppers, shooters, and arguably the most mentally tough point guard in the league in Brunson, Kidd might finally have his ideal coaching puzzle. He might finally have his ideal coaching puzzle. Then I think there's the recruiting and the legacy, the New York factor. That's a brand. Jason Kidd's name still carries weight. He's a Hall of Famer. He's an NBA champion. He's a cultural icon in basketball circles. And when he speaks, players listen. Not just because of his resume, but because of his presence. And that matters in New York. And if you throw all that up in a stew, tell me that won't be a natural aroma for recruitment. The Knicks haven't had a true recruiter on the sideline since maybe ever. We talk Riley. Thibodeau didn't do that. Mike D'Antoni didn't do that. Kidd could. His presence signals to other star players that the Knicks are not only serious, but we're ambitious and we're modern. So if you bring Kidd in, imagine this pitch to Giannis. You already trust me. You already know how I see the game. Come join Brunson, who plays the game the right way. Come lead the league's most passionate fan base, Giannis. Come win in America. That's my pitch. You don't think that'll land? I do. If the Knicks want to turn speculative interest into generational history, they're going to make that pitch. Hiring Jason Kidd is the right move. I'm convinced now. Giannis might be the end game, but Kidd is the opening play. We got to keep it a buck. I'm a Tibbs fan, but I think this is the natural next step. I think it's the natural next step for a new vision and a new era. It's a strange sentence to write, but here it is. Jason Kidd might be the most important free agent the Knicks could land this offseason, even though he's not a player. Even though he's not a player. With Brunson already in place, if we're able to keep Bridges, Anunoby, Josh Hart forming a modern defensive core with Mitchell Robinson as a rim anchor, I think with assets to trade and Karl Anthony Towns as a potential expendable star, all the Knicks need to do is get a coach who knows how to elevate, connect, and recruit. J. Kidd checks all of those boxes. And we're hoping that he might bring Giannis with him. I know this is dramatic, and I know we don't want to be talking about Giannis because the squad was good. But do we want to be good or do we want to be great? This team was healthy. And it wasn't just coaching that didn't put us over the top. What say you, Knicks fans? Keep this in mind. Same thing applies to life that applies to our team. If there's no struggle, there's no progress. But also remember this, whether it's out there in the real world or here in these YouTube streets, here in Knicks Deli, everybody eats. I'm your boy Sheik. Peace.